In this video, I'm going to tell you if it's worth selling Haaland or not. I'm also going to reveal my transfer plans. I've got 2 free transfers, both of them are getting used. I'm going to take a hit or two, and I'm also going to tell you the best transfers to make depending on your chip strategy. I'm wildcarding after the blank game week myself, and I have got a playing goalkeeper in Pickford. In fact, he's the best one to own this game week in my opinion. Everton have got the highest clean sheet odds against West Ham at home, so if you're looking to buy a goalkeeper on free hit 29, Pickford's your man. If you plan on wildcarding in game week 31, I think Raya's your best bet because Arsenal have the strongest defence, so he's more likely to get the most points out of all the goalkeepers. Moving on to defence, I've got Gabriel and Arsenal have the second highest clean sheet odds. I'm a bit surprised by that because Chelsea at home isn't the easiest of fixtures. I know they've got the home advantage, but Chelsea have a decent attack. But then Arsenal have one of the best defences in the league, and Liverpool aren't even playing this game week, along with 3 other decent defences as well, so that does give teams a better chance of ranking higher in the clean sheet odds. Castagna plays for a decent defence in Fulham, but their clean sheet odds aren't the best this game week against Spurs at home. To be fair, Everton's defensive quality is roughly the same, but they have a much easier fixture, and Arsenal's defensive quality is much better, and their fixture is quite similar from a defensive perspective. I know he's not the best of options, but you can't complain about having a player that's playing in a blank game week unless you're on the free hit. I have got Vandenberg and I'm hoping he plays against Bournemouth away this game week. He has been injured recently, but I've kept him just in case he might play, and the manager did say there's a good chance he could play, so he'll be going nowhere. Even if it's just a 1-pointer, he will top up the points tally in a blank game week. My 3 defenders on the free hit would be Mykolenko because Everton's got the highest clean sheet odds, Gabriel because Arsenal's got the second highest clean sheet odds and he's got attacking threat, and Darlow has got even more attacking threat, and United's got the 3rd highest clean sheet odds against Leicester. I know that sounds straightforward, but you could go double triple Everton or double triple Arsenal and ignore Darlow, or you could even ignore Gabriel, but looking at it realistically, I think they're the 3 best defenders to own. If you're planning on wildcarding in game week 31, Vardiol's your best bet. He's got Brighton at home and Leicester at home, 2 decent fixtures with a home advantage, especially that second one, plus he's got attacking upside as well. I've practically got no cover on the bench. Fabianski's not been playing for West Ham, and he's not expected to play this game week either. Even if he was, I've got Pickford there who's got the highest clean sheet odds out of all the goalkeepers, so he's staying cemented in my first team. As for the outfield players, there's absolutely no cover whatsoever. I've got 3 Liverpool players there, which are Salah, Trent and Van Dijk. I might sell 1 or 2 of them so I can get some first team players, and I will discuss that shortly. Moving on to midfield, I've got Bruno and I think he's the best midfielder to own this game week against Leicester away. In fact, he's made it in the best captain video. I won't spoil it for those of you who haven't watched it, just make sure you watch it after this. It's not often I'd say that Palmer's one of the best options to own against Arsenal away, but in this blank game week he is still one of the best midfielders to own. I wouldn't really have him in my top 4 or top 5, but he's not a bad option still. Dango's the only other player midfielder that I've got. Well, at least I hope he'll be playing anyway. I don't think he will be starting. You've had other Bournemouth players come back from injury recently, and he's had reduced minutes. I'm hoping he'll get a big chunk of minutes off the bench, or somehow start in the starting 11. It is worth targeting those Bournemouth attackers on the free hit, which would be Semenyo and Kluivert. I'd pair them up with Bruno Fernandes of course, then probably go for Mbeumo over Odegaard, or if you had a 5-man midfield, you could have Odegaard in there as well. If you're wildcarding in game week 31, assuming everyone owns Palmer who's got a very easy fixture next game week, I think Bruno's the best midfielder to buy. I've only got 1 forward who's guaranteed to play this game week and that's João Pedro. He's scored in all 3 of his last 3 game weeks and I've got 3 green arrows because he was a differential and he boosted my points right the way up. Hopefully he can make it 4 in a row, and do you know what, a lot of people will get put off by City away, but their defence has been bang average this season. That's not a difficult fixture for him. Whilst this video has been recorded, it doesn't look like Njai's going to play this game week. He picked up an injury a few game weeks ago and I kept him just in case he could play. Right now, benefit of hindsight, I wish I'd have swapped him for Beto because he's had plenty of goals and he's someone who I recommended frustratingly, and ironically I'm probably going to have to sell him this game week. Another forward who I'm considering selling is Isak. I know I've got plenty of value tied up in him, but he's got a blank game week this game week, and he would offer a lot of funds to move to another expensive forward. I think Haaland's the best forward to own this game week, and I will discuss shortly whether it's worth buying him or not, but if you're on the free hit, I'd go for him, and would if you've got 2 forwards, and as your 3rd forward, I'd actually go for Beto over Evan Nielsen. He's got higher expected minutes, and he's on penalty duties. If you're wildcarding in game week 31, and you need a cheaper forward, I'd actually go for Evan Nielsen over Beto. I know that goes against what I've just said, but Beto's got Liverpool away next game week, and Evan Nielsen's got Ipswich at home, which tips the scales back in his favour. Spoiler alert for this next part, if you've not already watched my best captain video, make sure you go and watch it and then come back to this part. So for those of you who've already watched my best captain video, you'll know that Haaland was the outright winner. The question is, do we captain him next game week? Well, I've had a quick look at the data. I'd say I'm roughly 70 to 80% sure that we'll pick Haaland. That's against Leicester at home. Palmer's also got a decent fixture against Spurs at home. Salah's not got the easiest of fixtures against Fulham away. That'll probably be the short list. Just make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that game week 30 team selection video. But don't forget, I do reserve the right to change my mind after the in-depth data analysis. So Haaland's not locked in for captaincy next game week, but I do think it's likely. If we're going to captain Haaland this game week, and probably next game week as well, I think he's worth buying, even if you have to sell Salah. I'm planning on spending 2 free transfers and taking at least one hit, so that would be Salah to Semenyo, Isak to Haaland, and Jai to Evan Nielsen, and I'll probably take a second hit, that would be for Trent to Gvardiol as well. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and Patreon, that's where my team reveal will be posted before the deadline.